UNC's budget cuts have resulted in more than 140 layoffs for non-faculty employees since July 2008. Julianne McKellogg is in our satellite studio. Julianne, some former employees claim that budget cuts aren't the only reason for the layoffs.
Lauren, some of those let go served on the executive committee of the University Employee Forum, which shares non-faculty employee concerns with the administration. And they believe their board activities may have been a factor in their dismissals. Mike McEwen turned in his office key on October 2nd after working as the AV coordinator at the School of Public Health for 11.5 years. But this means he's also leaving his role on the Employee Forum. And in that position, he says he questioned many of the administration's decisions.
6.5 years, and I've seen quite a lot of things going on, various, let us say, administrator shenanigans.
He says that includes former Employee Forum Executive Committee member Brenda Densler's layoff.
A number of the things, like questions she's asked, I think have made administrators nervous. I think her questions were very to the point.
In an email, Densler said the number of layoffs of the Employee Forum's Executive Committee members were unusually high. She wrote, "So why is the layoff figure so disproportional among recently stepped-down members of the Employee Forum Executive Committee? Inquiring minds want to know." But the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Brenda Malone, has a different perspective.
A couple of members of the Employee Forum who've received layoff notice, but not at all tied to their role as members of the Employee Forum.
Employee Forum Director Tommy Griffin also noticed some discrepancies.
I don't believe Chancellor Thorpe would do anything like go after people for retaliation, but there's a lot of people in between him and the folks that got laid off, and sometimes they tell the truth, but sometimes they tell the truth their way.
Malone still backs the administration's actions.
Your question kind of borders on whether or not someone was kind of retaliated against for being in the forum or any. There's been none of that. I feel very, very comfortable in saying that that's not it at all.
Still, McEwen and others question the administration's actions, but because there's not much of a paper trail, it comes down to a matter of he said, she said.
Julianne, Griffin was careful not to blame the chancellor for any of these problems. So who do these committee members say is responsible?
Well, Lauren, many say these issues were with the mid-level administrators, but they also questioned the response from South Building on bigger issues, including employee parking and pay cuts.
That's Julianne McKellogg in our satellite studio. Thanks, Julianne.